Hey guys, John here. Come to you from Tutorials for Business. Today's training is going to be very short. We'll be discussing three formulas: left, mid, and right. So please subscribe to receive new videos. Click that like button if you find this video helpful, and please share with your friends. So let's get right into it, guys. Here on the screen we have three examples of the three formulas that we'll be discussing today. Like I mentioned, I put text formulas at the top, but really you can use these formulas for any types of word or any type of information you have. So for instance here, my example has part numbers. I also added in a name. You can see it works perfectly either way. Let's start talking about left. So our left formula, what it does is it counts from left to right, and it brings you how many characters you select. So as a brief example, let's enter it here. So to enter a formula, click equals to. We'll be doing left. So once we open our parentheses, the first thing it tells us, select the text. In my case, I select the first one and I click comma. Now it tells me number of characters. Now this is because, like I mentioned, the left formula counts from left to right. So it's going to ask me how many characters do I want to bring in, counting from left to right. Everything counts, guys. So if you have space, if you have an asterisk, if you have a dash, anything is going to count. So in this case, in this formula, on this example, I selected the first four numbers. So we'll just click on 4, and we could either close the parentheses or click enter, and Excel will already know we're finished. So simple enough here. We grabbed our first four numbers in this case. If I would grab this formula and paste it all the way down, you can see that it grabbed the first four numbers out of the part numbers, and it grabbed the first four letters out of the name. So it works with names, numbers, you name it. If you need to isolate the first few digits or first few letters out of a column, then you can use the left function and it works perfectly. Now let's move on to the mid formula. So let's say the words you want to isolate are not from left to right, but somewhere in the middle. That's where mid comes in. Using the mid formula, we can determine where do you want the formula to start counting, and for how many letters do you want it to count. So I always say you learn through example, so I'll explain it while I do the formula. So we'll click equals to mid, and we open parentheses. Now same as before, we select which text. So we're selecting this text. Now comma. As you can see here, for this example, I want to select the last two numbers before the dash and the first two numbers after the dash, so right in the center of my part number list. So to start number is 3, and in this case Y3, because if we count from left to right, 1 is in the first position, 5 is in the second, and 9 is in the third. So I want to start off at the third. Comma. How many characters do I want to count? So you always count the character you're standing on. So 9, 0, dash, 1, 2. So if we count those as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want to bring in 5 numbers. And like stated before, either we can close parentheses or just click enter, and voila, you have 90-12, which is the middle number here. If we would drag that formula down here, paste formulas, and okay. There we go. Now, so as you can see here, we copied our formula down, we brought in the middle section, and it even works with the name. Now, one thing, just for visualization, I mentioned that everything counts, even spaces. So instead of a dash, I have a space. It still counts as space. So everything counts, guys. So make sure when you do the mid or you do the left, you count the numbers. Let's say here you wanted to bring in up to the number 1, and as you can see here, it's a space, it's not a dash. So instead of putting in 4, I would have to put in 6. Why 6? Because the space counts. So if I put 6 here, now it's bringing me up all the way to 1 because the space counts. Right, and then finally, we're moving on to right. So right we use if we want to bring in some numbers or some letters from the back of our column of data. In this case, if we want to bring in, for my part numbers list, the last 5 numbers, then we use a right. So equals to right, and sorry, clicked the wrong thing. We open parentheses, select text, and it's basically the same thing as a left. It's just starting it's starting from the back to the front or from right to left. In this case, we put a comma and number of characters. So number of characters from right to left. So it's 5. So as you can see here, we're bringing in the last 5 digits of our part numbers. If we copy this down, formulas, okay, then we're bringing in the last 5 numbers, the last 5 letters. So these are 3 simple formulas to help you out, guys. Hope they're helpful. If you like this video, please click that like button below, subscribe for new videos, and see you next time, guys. And before I say the final goodbyes, I just want to tell you, always keep searching, keep learning, and keep growing, my friends. You take care. John here. See you next time. Bye.